Weight in right. Body shot. Big hammers upstairs.
Against the undefeated Chris Algieri. Still to come. Provodnikov defends his 140-pound title for the first time. Provodnikov, who's gained in Rocky. Ruslan Provodnikov, an all-action fighter if ever there was one, risks his newly won 140-pound title for the first time against undefeated, skilled Provodnikov invaded then-champion Mike Alvarado's home turf in Colorado and ultimately ran Alvarado over, rampaging his way to a 10th-round stoppage. And
yeah, I'm very lucky to be in the same gym with them and, watch them. And most of all, I look at them and I try to, most importantly, I try to not disappoint my team.
Native New Yorker from Huntington out on Long Island, former kickboxing champion, now 19-0 as a professional boxer. This is a whole different kind of spotlight. And Ruslan Provodnikov is about as tough an assignment as there is in the sport. But before we get to our main event, let's take a look at the upcoming HBO boxing calendar. Another look at Chris Algieri, undefeated in 19 professional fights and staring down a tremendous opportunity to make a name for himself tonight against Ruslan Provodnikov. But Algieri's interests and accomplishments extend far beyond his boxing career.
This is actually how I pictured it when I was a kid.
Huntington, New York, USA.
Weekends in a row here in New York, beating Mike Alvarado in Colorado. Roach was in the Philippines training Manny Pacquiao, and his now reasonably well-known assistant Marvin Samodio was the lead trainer for Provodnikov in that fight. Their chemistry worked very well, as does the chemistry with Roach. We saw that jab upstairs as Algieri begins to unleash that long jab.
Something to keep devastating shot if he keeps that jab pumping and stays out of trouble. But Provodnikov's already cutting off the ring extremely well, Andre.
Yeah, Provodnikov's not wasting any time. He's doing exactly.
Algieri buys a little real estate and moving back. And now he gives the real estate away again momentarily. Was pinned against the ropes. Now there's some distance again.
I like what Provodnikov is doing. He's very crafty as much as the head is, and then the headshots will be there just like that.
Down goes Algieri on a Ruslan Provodnikov left hook, and Algieri round one.
Roach's imprint all over this fight. Or Ruslan Provodnikov.
Second knockdown.
It's a thing of beauty.
Algieri goes down on a
3 eyes. I don't think it would make a difference.
Like I mentioned earlier, Provodnikov is starting down low and he's finishing up.
Very confident. He was going to be able to upset Provodnikov's apple cart here. Provodnikov means business.
Algieri still fighting with some confidence.
Weisfeld does. Here are the two knockdowns in round number one, which serve at this moment as Provodnikov's insurance policy and could possibly turn out to be his margin of victory. He was just feeling the pressure again. It's already swelling.
Get containment, I think not going to stop it.
Long kind of fight. I'm not sure that if they had a real ferocity from the opening bell.
That's true, but I think in the Bradley fight, I think when Timothy wanted to box and really got on his jab, the level that he can
gotten even better technically.
Confidence to continue to do what he's doing, and he's showing it tonight. He's not hesitant, just can't do anything with Provodnikov right now.
Let's take a listen to Michael Algieri as he
move. Move. Beautiful.
Good.
Move. Get out of there.
Get out. Get out. Tie up.
Get out.
Tie up on the inside if you want to fucking do that.
Well.
much book too. So Provodnikov's power is still showing up at the moments when he's able to catch Algieri and land a shot.
Provodnikov has landed some violent 2- and 3-punch combinations that Algieri is definitely feeling.
It also shows you that a more talented fighter, there's not much you can do to win the fight. Algieri is doing everything right now.
And he knocks Provodnikov's head back.
No shortage of heart from Algieri right now.
92 punches, plan, which was when Algieri went to the camp.
What Algieri was able to do last round, turn it from a battle of will into a battle of skill. And it was more the kind of fight that favors him.
Freddie Roach is so that you can get closer when you land those big shots. And Provodnikov, listening to Roach, is firing the jab and then coming back with the body shots.
The only problem is Algieri has to keep this up for another 9.5 rounds.
Well, and this is the kind of fight he knew he had to fight coming in.
Left hook lands upstairs for Provodnikov. Algieri with a solid right hand. Provodnikov.
Algieri takes the most punishment when he stops on the ropes. His best bet is to keep his feet moving or keep the fight in the center of the ring, and that's by that.
Good body shot by Algieri-Ruslan Provodnikov, as if to say fight.
Algieri said he recognized there'd be moments in the fight where he had to fight Provodnikov. He's doing that here when Provodnikov starts to get coming in with two.
Seems to be could ultimately affect his ability to see Provodnikov's left hook.
It's tough enough fighting Provodnikov for two good eyes, much less one eye on his way to closing.
And Algieri in this fight, I think so far, Andre, even though he's taking punishment.
No shortage of heart. He's fighting another level of opponent in Provodnikov. To the canvas, not in the
Provodnikov cheek.
Boxes very well, but he's sharp.
Algieri landed more punches. Algieri boxed very well and landed hard punches at the end. So after 3 rounds, I have Provodnikov.
Couple rounds, he's made Provodnikov think, Andre, and there's a little hesitation when Provodnikov gets
puncher, like you said. He's just got Provodnikov's attention right now. Oh,
hard body shot by Provodnikov drives Algieri back.
It's a big left hook from Algieri.
Well, I think there's a back into the fight.
And how about this kid getting a heavy favorite so far?
Very impressive.
And that he's showing now, regardless of what happens in this fight, he's showing a strong performance right now against a very...
For a guy who took up boxing at 23. Now the kickboxing gave him a boxing, but by and large, the conventional wisdom is this since he was a kid.
Algieri is an extremely confident guy. That out of him, even as he was on the canvas.
I think this is all you can ask for a fighter, somebody who comes in here and gives it all he has, regardless of what the results are. Everybody doesn't have the same skill set, but Algieri's showing you, this is what I have, and I'm putting it all on the line.
And never stop trying to win. He's still trying to win, and the last couple rounds been doing much better.
In this round, Provodnikov
and not waiting as long to go to the body, especially when he gets positioned.
The right hand by Algieri. Hard body shot by Provodnikov. Algieri lands upstairs. Take a razor blade and let the blood out, right?
The little corner, they didn't get because that eye staying open, or at least partially open, maybe the only shot that Algieri had.
It was like they gave up on the eye, I thought, Andre, like they just figured out. Very strange.
One thing that may be operating in Provodnikov's fight about the size of the ring, and was as small as 18 feet by 18 feet, under the regulation 20 feet, and the smaller it is, of course, the greater advantage to Provodnikov, the power puncher.
I want to point something else out about Algieri. Not only is he boxing well and has overcome an enormous obstacle early in this fight, but and is fighting with one eye now. Boxer, in spite of his light power, who's uninteresting, entertaining fighter in spite of the fact that he's not a knockout guy. Doesn't tie his man up a lot, stays in punching range, uses his legs appropriately, throws a lot of punches, and throws like
opponent that he can control. Algieri has generated 100, 110, sometimes 120 punches.
I think what's interesting and exciting about Algieri is he gives you different looks. He's not doing the same thing every round. One minute he touches you and he hits you with the left. Next minute he's flicking the... He's doing several different things, and it's exciting that the big puncher Provodnikov just off balance enough where he can't do what he wants to do.
Yeah, I'm really liking watching him box.
And I think Provodnikov is taking away some of his big shots because when he can escape looking for the big shot, Provodnikov has to get him in position and let his punches go.
Algieri's long arms are a bit of a problem for Provodnikov. Algieri's greater hand speed is a bit of a problem for Provodnikov. The multiplicity of his punches shows in a while. Provodnikov's able to trap him against the ropes and hammer him to the body, or sometimes the kind of power that Algieri just can't match.
Although I have to say, especially considering he was decked in the first round.
Bleeding from the right nostril now. Out of 437. Provodnikov, 84 out of 284 sledgehammer shots.
Sometimes as a fighter, we talked about that early, where you get knocked, body computes it, and you get hit with another big shot, and you're able to stand up to it.
Wonder. We saw that, I think, in Cotto and Martinez last week. She blitzed Martinez early, but after that, Martinez took the punches much better as the fight wore on, even though he was eventually...
Body, and he didn't look like he liked that.
Who likes it in the body?
Nobody.
Wild swinging left hook that would have knocked Algieri into next week if he had found the target, but he didn't. Algieri's more accurate.
Provodnikov, Andre, that he can be outboxed?
I think so. I think when that aura kind of gives other opponents that just enough confidence to either give you a tough fight or possibly beat. This isn't the Provodnikov that people are used to seeing, and I don't think many people expected this from Algieri, but you got to respect this guy. No amateur background, former kickboxer. He's showing himself strong tonight.
Already beat Emmanuel Taylor in his last fight, and Jim on Provodnikov tonight is not one of them.
Spoken in saying that he wanted to fight Juan Manuel Martin. He wanted to fight a bigger name. He was and his stinging left hook. Good body shot by Provodnikov.
Algieri's punch output has seemed, yeah, but not quite the snap of the last couple rounds.
Good left hook by that eye since the beginning of the fight. Every round of the fight, high number of connected punches in the fight.
At 59-53 Provodnikov, to some extent you have the judge's dilemma. Algieri is boxing very well and landing more punches, but Provodnikov is applying relentless pressure. So after 6 rounds...
Have a little snap back on those shots to me.
I think his confidence is rising. I think that could affect that confidence, but I just have the hunch, a notion that somehow he could climb back into the... If one or more of the official judges had given 3 or 4 of these rounds to Algieri.
Jim, not at all. As I said, it's the judge's dilemma, and Algieri is clearly landing more punches, and he's boxing very, very well. I just went with Provodnikov because his...
Yeah, especially when a guy's face is falling apart and gets hit with shots like that. It's easy for a guy here, but Algieri is doing a lot of good work in between those moments for Provodnikov, and now it looks like Provodnikov's right eye is giving...
Blinked a couple times.
Provodnikov almost has a look on his face. Here, it's round 7.
Solid right hand shot by Algieri. Countering Provodnikov's left hand. You heard Tim Lane in it. You can come back to the body.
Their body's hurting.
And we're listening now to Tim Lane, Algieri's trainer. Hard body shot by Provodnikov. Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Oh, that right hook to the body, Jim, that you mentioned, seemed to take a little something out of Algieri right there.
Trapped in the corner with 10 seconds to go in the round. Algieri slips away. Doing a sensation. Young referee rising.
He's hurt, but maybe Algieri here should take another shot, Andre, see if he is.
I think he's buzzed Provodnikov a couple times with the left hook when they've traded.
I think Algieri's getting the boxing world.
Yeah, this is what you call it. If that's the case, but you can't argue with his performance. He's taking some punishment, but he's given just as much as he's getting in terms of volume, the volume of punches. He's in his home state. We've got a lot of hometown fans here.
To get off the deck twice against the guy, or to get off the deck in the first round against a guy who's supposed to be very impressive. And Provodnikov, by the way,
has found it harder and harder to land his big stuff upstairs. Might be useful for Provodnikov to focus on the body for a while and try to break Algieri down.
Well, he started that in the first couple of rounds, like we mentioned, and he's gotten away from that. Now he's looking for one big shot. And so many different things, and these are the different nuances that a good boxer can show you.
But when Provodnikov makes its impact, it counts. In round number 8.
Algieri for 15 or 20 seconds.
If Provodnikov is to get a knockout, the target should be the taller man down. Good left hand, good right hand by Algieri. Slips away along the ropes. Has been lunging a little bit.
A big left hook. But here we see he landed a short, small jab, but it's the...
Ruslan Provodnikov, called the Siberian of that nickname and that brand, if you will, as the underdog, at least against Alvarado, certainly not as a big favorite, and outperformed expectations both against Tim Bradley and against Alvarado. In this fight, he came in as the heavy favorite. So far, for the first time since people became aware of him, not Tations Provodnikov.
Provodnikov has 2 losses. One of them was the best in the Bradley fight. The other was to matter with movement and speed, who was able to get the better of, has been able to
punch of Provodnikov is definitely his kryptonite, and we're seeing that tonight. Provodnikov is being Provodnikov.
Looked like Provodnikov was about to not be able to box because Provodnikov wouldn't let him. He's not trying to let Algieri box here. Algieri just boxed.
The recognized champion of the 140-pound weight class, Garcia, although Garcia, in his last fight,
exactly where a guy is in terms of his career development.
Thunderous right hand by Provodnikov is out.
The sample size is so small. It's like trying to figure. All we have are his last 2 fights. Has he made enormous improvement as it seemed? Or did he improve, and this is how good Algieri is?
Yeah, I think that's more. This fight, he's improving. He's a good job right now. I think it's that simple.
It wasn't a difficult.
Here we see the kind of shots that Algieri's been landing on Provodnikov. Just a touch with the left hand.
56, 27%. Algieri, 2%. Algieri throwing more, landing at a higher. Not nearly the same. Provodnikov is able to muster winning.
Algieri does not only hard enough to get respect on him, but when he hits to punch, even if he wants to.
They have it through
98-81 for Provodnikov. I just wish that there was a magical mathematical formula equals one hard shot, but there's no such formula. Judges just have to do their best based on their experience. I'm going with the harder, more effective shots.
I think it would serve Provodnikov, probably if not fully shut, 3/4 of the way shut on Algieri. Algieri doesn't see.
Incidentally, a 7 points. Realize every round you change, if you think it's a close round, is a 2-point swing, because it's 10-9 the other way. So if you disagree with, rather than it being a 7-point fight, it's a 3-point fight.
Much closer fight. The big insurance has going for him as we debate the merits of more frequent. Algieri down twice in the first round, making that a 10-7.
Provodnikov is maybe one.
Provodnikov stalking move.
I think he's still ahead of Provodnikov in terms of...
Go on, Provodnikov, who's heavier-handed than Algieri,
was leaning in.
Snap on his shots to generate power, and I think it actually favors Provodnikov.
We spoke a little bit earlier about the size of this ring. It's a small ring. It's an 18-foot ring. In Huntington, New York, at the arena that he fights.
His range in a tight space. He wants to leave nothing to change.
In terms of Provodnikov's will and his broke will before Provodnikov, he's fight. It's actually Algieri who's the rock. Not in terms of his style, but the physical kid. The
Algieri, both of them landing momentarily.
And he does it with an eye and a nose now that looks like...
Yeah, I think what the fans at home on, you can't measure. No matter what Provodnikov's reputation is, and you run into this, they just know that tonight is my night in winning this fight. I don't know by how far, but...
He's falling apart, and...
Alice against Manny. tells us nothing about what's going on behind the eyelid, but have been brave enough on his behalf to let him fight.
I think when you look at punches landed and even body language.
And as he is on the same page, doctors would not have allowed him to go this far. That right eye. Ruslan Provodnikov
said earlier that he has to, especially the way the fight started.
Yeah, he hasn't broken down physically, mentally, emotionally, like I think Provodnikov and Freddie Roach possibly expected and even banked on.
Damage to the body in the middle rounds in particular.
Land those power shots, and Algieri moved in those shots.
That's called subtle craft.
Experience, not one amateur fight.
Stop. Bringing something big up from the bottom where Algieri doesn't see it coming, and Algieri somehow has a
sense that you can feel it, and you kind of know when to duck.
For the absence of body punching in the middle rounds. Provodnikov may have been targeting the eye so consciously that he lost track to the body.
And Algieri's do things, certain telegraphs, and things that, you know, Provodnikov, the boxing world knows.
An impressive show in its way.
But who won? There's 20 seconds left.
I agree with that.
No matter what the official verdict is.
Well, Steve Weisfeld's unofficial scorecard is going to look relatively one-sided.
And new undefeated WBO light welterweight champion of the world.
By far, the harder punches